What is good, y'all? It's Jay Coffee back with another hip-hop blog for you guys. So check it out, man. Griselda Records, Conway, Benny, Westsidegunn, in my opinion, dopest, some of the dopest artists in the game right now. You know what I mean? Benny, personally, is my favorite out of the group, but they're all just so dope. You feel me? But anyways, recently, I've been covering on the channel maybe a month or so ago. They had some displeasure with their situation with Shady Records. You know what I mean? Westsidegunn got on Twitter during the BET Awards and, you know, was like, does Shady Records even know we're here? You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, man, what's going on? You know, because these dudes carry themselves as pretty solid individuals, in my opinion, you know? So for them to get on Twitter, social media with that was saying something. And then we saw shortly after that, Conway, you know, on a live, dissed the Stands, you know what I mean? And was just saying he could not wait to get out of this Shady Records deal. Well, we know a couple of these guys on Griselda signed management deal with Roc Nation some months back. It made major news, you know, and Hove took an interest, you know, schooled Benny up on a lot. Benny the Butcher said Hove is the one that told him, don't rock with that XXL freshman list. You know what I mean? Like, you're above that. You don't need to be with that. You know, like, you're a higher level than that. Like, get in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think about that. You know, with the XXL list, what Hove told them. We saw Hove at a lot of Westsidegunn appearances and stuff like that. Like, Westsidegunn did some stand-up comedy. You know, he does a lot. He does the art, all that. Jay-Z was, you know, in attendance for that. And now Griselda's tour manager just gave a little interview recently and was talking about an interaction between Conway and Jay-Z while on tour. And this is pretty interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like, Jay-Z, as far as the music goes, super talented. It's amazing what he's done. You know what I mean? Hove is one of the greatest of all time in my book. And Conway's got this track called The Cow, and I know a lot of the Griselda fans definitely know about this track, you know, because Conway talks about his face being paralyzed, being shot. And, you know, I remember when I first really started getting into Conway and Griselda, you know what I mean? They were going on Funk Flex and all that, tearing it up with those freestyles. And I was following Conway on Twitter. I seen him tweet multiple times and saying things about people commenting about his face. Like, you know what I mean? It gets to him. It bothers him. It's an emotional thing what that man went through. Someone took an attempt on his life. And The Cow, you know, talks all about that. And he's known to sometimes get emotional and cry when performing that song on tour. And this is what their tour manager was talking about here. He says, after Conway performed The Cow, this is D-Jack, the tour manager. After Conway performed The Cow, which is one of the most iconic songs you can see Conway do live, Hove called him over to the side of the stage, reveals D-Jack. And it says Conway is wiping tears out of his eyes and tells Hove, yo, my bad that I'm crying and shit. Hove was like, nah, that's good. That's that emotion. That's that pain. Don't be afraid to let that out on stage. Clearly, it says clearly no stranger to raw lyricism. Jay-Z appeared to have nothing but admiration for Buffalo Trifecta by you know, according to the manager, what he witnessed. And it says Jay seemed to reveal in witnessing the next generation in action. He stayed the whole show. He didn't just dip out and disappear. He enjoyed himself. You look over at him and he's looking at Conway, West, and Benny like a proud dad. So, as I was saying in the beginning of this blog, talking about the issues with Shady Records, the deal that they had with Shady Records, you know, I mean, this is just something to talk about, period, because we know Jay-Z, you know, he's got Roc Nation and everything, but we don't see him around a lot. You know, he's in the cut, he's enjoying life. He's Jay. He don't got to do nothing he doesn't want to do. You know what I mean? And for him to take an interest in Conway and all that, that's saying something in my book, you know, and I'm sure it is to a lot of you guys as well. Make sure to comment, let me know your thoughts on that. But you know, also something I've kind of had this conversation with the viewers before, but with this interaction between Jay-Z and Conway, and you know, the other things that I was saying about Shady Records and all that, you got to really think Jay-Z wishes he was the one. Like I said, he's got a couple of these dudes in management deals, but you got to imagine that he really is like, damn, Eminem beat me to the punch on this one. I wish I could have had these guys under contract with me. I wish I could have had them over at The Rock, you know. We know a lot of times when it comes to Shady Records, it seems like Paul, you know, the manager Paul is the one that well, now, you know, he was the head of Def Jam for a while and everything too. We know, like, you know, Paul seems to be the problem, a lot of people think, rather than Eminem, but they just gotta, this is debatable. I had a lot of people tell me, nah, you're tripping, when I was saying Shady has a bad history with artists. But you gotta think that, as we heard Conway say, we seen Westside tweet about it, they wish they were over at The Rock, in my opinion. Like, don't you guys think? I know a lot of people, that what always gets brought up about that Shady Records deal is something, you know, that is pretty big. As we know, when a lot of these artists are under contract, majority of the time we hear them, you know, in a lot of their situations, be upset with the label and different things like that. So the fact that Shady Records allowed them to still release all these independent projects, you know what I mean? If you recall, it took them 2 years to drop their Shady Records debut. That, you know, people bring that up a lot, that is an amazing deal, and they didn't want anything from them from that. So, I mean, it's just got to be clearly with Paul, in my opinion, you know, because other than that, like we said, that deal, no label is really letting you do that. I don't know, like, do you guys think Jay-Z would allow that over at The Rock? I don't know, you know what I mean? But it's just something I wanted to talk with you guys about, you know, share this story here about Conway and Jay-Z, you know what I mean, and see what you guys think about that whole situation. Shady, The Rock, you know, do you think things would have went different with The Rock? What's your thoughts on this as a whole? You know, Eminem definitely had his eye open for these guys talent-wise, you know what I mean? If you recall, like, he was the first guy to sign 50 Cent. You know, I mean, he had that Columbia deal before, but you know what I'm saying, like, Eminem definitely is out there looking for new artists all the time. It doesn't always work out, but you know, he's definitely a scout, I guess we'll say, you know. So get in the comments, let me know your guys' thoughts on all this. You know, what do you think about that track, The Cow? What do you think about the whole situation, everything I touched on? It's Jay Coffee Talk. I blog sports, music, news, life, current events, and much more. Griselda Records, man. What do you think in the future? Do you see them, when the Shady deal is done, going over to The Rock? Like, it's probably already all drawn up, you know what I mean? That's all I got, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.